At Dot & Company, we believe that all agencies deserve amazing account managers and that all of those account managers deserve to be supported, encouraged, and loved on. That's why we started CAM Community, a membership only for account managers. And inside, you'll gain access to the exact training we use to train our own client-facing account managers, but also access to all of our SOPs, processes, and live trainings on a variety of topics. If you're an account manager, this is the place you've been waiting for. Learn more at dotandcompany.co/CAM community.
Having a remote team is certainly something that blew up over COVID. Everybody was working from home, but that work-life balance and the remote life is something that our client account managers take full advantage of and know that it's a really great piece to the CAM puzzle. So working at Dot & Company, we love the remote life, and there's no better people to tell you what that is all about than our very own CAMs, Sheena and Jenna. So I'm here today to talk on the Happy Clients podcast with Sheena and Jenna about why they joined Dot & Company. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat CAM life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to Happy Clients.
Here at Dot & Company, we're always looking for the perfect marketing client account manager unicorn. And those people come to us to fulfill a really awesome role here at Dot & Company. So I want to know why these people are coming to us, why they want to work for Dot & Company, and how that benefits agencies we work with. So let's dive in with Jenna and Sheena today and talk everything about why you're on the Dot & Company team. Welcome, Jenna. Welcome, Sheena. So excited to talk to you today.
Hey, good morning. It's great to be here.
So you guys have been here for a minute. Let's be honest. You're a bit of our OG team members, which is really cool. So I want to kind of get back to the basics of how you even got here, but why Dot & Company and why that was the perfect kind of career pivot for you. So I'll let you guys duke it out for who speaks first, but let's start there and see why you guys chose Dot & Company.
Sure. Jenna, do you want to go ahead first?
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to turn back the pages of time. Because yes, Katie, you're right. We are like the OG team. So kind of looking back to like a few years ago when I joined Dot & Company, I was working for a corporate company where I was doing the same thing day in, day out. I was doing, whatever strategy was kind of put in place, kind of looking at, months at a time, things were the same, just kind of copy paste each, quarter, basically. So I kind of wasn't really using my skills or challenging myself. And I wanted to continue to grow for a great career growth. And I wanted something that was going to kind of push me forward. So that was when I started looking for a new job. And I found Dot & Company, and I thought, this is exactly it. This is what I've been looking for. This is the team that's going to give me opportunities that I don't currently have in my current position. And it's great being able to work with multiple agencies, having multiple different clients with different strategies, different needs, and everything like that, that I'm able to challenge myself with the skills that I already possessed and just grow those further and help other agencies grow themselves.
And I really love that, Jenna, because that kind of speaks to even the ambition here, that sort of unicorn status, right? We want those kind of go-getters, those super efficient, those people that are coming to the table with great ideas and great processes and really great sort of work ethic that I think the unicorn status that we always talk about, that's kind of in there as well. And I know, Sheena, you've kind of joined the team for different reasons.
Yep.
But some not too far off from why Jenna's here at Dot & Company. But how come Dot & Company is such a perfect fit for you, Sheena?
Yeah. Well, when I found the job posting, I was coming back from maternity leave. I've actually been in sales and marketing since 2006. And when I left my previous role, I wanted to find a career pivot, a new challenge. And I was really excited about the opportunity with DOT because to me, it represented the ability to apply myself in new different ways. So I've historically been a marketing operation manager. So I get to apply those skills to multiple different agencies and get to help and see them grow, which I personally love participating in seeing company growth, like as they hit their milestones and are able to achieve their own corporate goals. I think it's just amazing to be a part of it. And I get to be a part of it with a couple different agencies at a time. And it's very rewarding to participate with them. And kind of like Jenna, because I get to rotate or meet different agencies, I have an opportunity to learn new things, which when you're working at the same place for, 8 years, as I previously was, sometimes you don't always get that opportunity to try new things. And so I'm always given chances to try something new, understand something new, learn something new. And it's very fresh. And I love that.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of agency life 101 sometimes too.
Yeah.
And the win here, and is what we're always promoting this, even when I'm talking to new CAMs and potential new CAMs, is that kind of no day is the same. And when you are in that agency, that one agency day in and day out, even when they're kind of pivoting and, ebbing and flowing, the same sort of things are happening inside the agency. So I really love that you guys are talking about this sort of new experience, because it's also that learning point too, where you guys are like, okay, I've done this before. This is what we did. I did this with a different agency. It's going to work really well here. And that's a really awesome experience to sort of bring in between the different agencies. So maybe you guys could even tell me a little bit about, how you guys kind of went from working one agency, one job, one routine sort of day to day, to kind of working with different ones, plus the Dot and Company too. Like you have all these sort of balls in the air. So how do you guys kind of manage all that? What's the excitement about all that as well?
I love that as I got to grow, I got to meet new people or meet new agencies, and I could take what worked for agency A and apply what made sense to agency B. But every agency is unique in their own way. We're all like snowflakes, like everybody.
Perfect analogy, Sheena.
Yeah. And so I found that was because I already had agency experience. I started with one agency. When I started adding on more agencies, I had a really great foundation to work from, and to grow and to relate to, I guess. And so it was very helpful for that. But I also lean a lot internally on DOT support system, which is, I think, something that is very unique to DOT. I know from working with other agencies from sort of the agency point of view, like they might hire like design agencies and such like that, that DOT is very unique in that way, where we have an internal support system, where we have our weekly training meetings. We have a lot. I can always go back to CAM school, and I could always go back at all the great resources that are constantly being updated. So that really helps me too, because the first thing I do is every time I start with a new agency is I go back to our library of SOPs and training documents. And like, what works here, and we apply it, and it's amazing. So that's been what's really helped me transition the experience, and then the DOT resources.
I would echo all of that, Sheena. It's I think that the resources that we have and the community that we have at Dot and Company, just with the CAMs, is amazing, because you know that if you are struggling with something, you know that there's a full team of amazing unicorns that know or have been in that same position and know something that could work for you. And of course, every agency is different, and things aren't always going to work the exact same way, but at least you have that foundation and that starting point to find a new solution that will work for your specific agency. So I think that's excellent.
Yeah. And I think that's a total win too. When you guys are thinking about why to join the team, or if this podcast is about why you joined Dot and Company, this is a remote position. It's a fractional position. So there are elements of sort of independent work sometimes, but also not, because you do have this enormous CAM fam, you have this really great support system and these really great resources. So that's kind of another ease, or like, kind of makes you just feel better about joining the team, right? Because you can have not only these people, but these resources. So when you're pivoting in between, when you're taking on a new agency or meeting a new client, you have a really great sort of foundation, which is something I think that Dot and Company really, I mean, we kind of geek out over it for sure. We love making those resources and we love collaborating as a team on all those. So really setting you up for success. So those sort of in between, that fractional work becomes a lot easier when it's sort of supported by this foundation of Dot and Company, which is pretty cool. And I think I'll acknowledge too that this isn't a role for people who can't really have that drive, that self-starting kind of thing, which is fine. We are all remote. Most of the teams we work with are remote. Have you guys lived the remote life? It's kind of a difficult question because COVID made us all get there, right? But what is it about kind of going from maybe corporate? I know Sheena, especially you came from this corporate background into the remote life. Like, what is that sort of benefit, or why did you guys sort of want that with your next career pivot?
Well, it obviously creates great work-life balance because you just get back that commute time and stuff like that. But I love that because I can manage my schedule and there's less of a push on presenteeism and more of a push on just getting it done. And so if I want to get something done in the evening or really early in the morning, I can do that without having to have an impact on my corporate presence. So I really love that I can work when it makes sense, when the job calls for it. I'm there. And then when there's some time, I can use that time for other things. Like I've been redoing camp school for some personal growth, just to make sure that it's been a year. So I thought, so I get the chance
get back on the horse.
Well, I thought it would be a good idea to do some professional development, right? I guess is what I'm saying. So I love that. I think that really helps, the flexibility, the ownership of my schedule, and just being able to weave it into all of my responsibilities as a parent and as a great CAM and as someone who's professionally driven.
And I like that sort of, I guess precedent is the word here, but we're working with agencies on a fractional basis. You have this much time to do your work. We're super good at it. We present really full time to clients and externally. And, nothing goes sort of undone, but we're the efficiency sort of, queens over here, right? We get it done in a fraction of the time because we have all these great resources. We live in this space. And I think that helps the fractional. We're like, oh, we have 10 hours. We're going to get this done and we're going to do it all really quick. And then that balance in between agencies is good for our team internally, but also for the agencies we're working with. They love seeing, what takes anybody else 35 hours takes us 15. Like, that's awesome. So I think having that efficiency vibe too, or just kind of knowing that, you'll get up early and get it done. It's off the checklist. So you have your calendar, available for meetings or something like that, or whatever it might be. Maybe you have a doctor's appointment or something like that. That flexibility is huge too. Sheena, those are really great reasons why remote life is so awesome. I think even for you and you kind of transitioning over here, I do know Jenna had a bit of a different experience. COVID sent you to a home office. Why did you know that was for you, Jenna, this remote life, this really exciting, individualized work environment? Of course, we have the whole CAM fam, but this sort of independent work.
Yeah, well, I really like the leadership that kind of comes with creating your own schedule and figuring out when your productive time is the right time for you. Because I know with my previous position, with my old company, it was a lot of, this is the time that you come in at this certain time, you work until 12, and then you must take your lunch at this time, and everything was so structured. And the way that I operate, like, my mornings are my most productive time. Like, that is where I can get a lot of my project work and, writing SOPs and auditing those SOPs and, having internal meetings. Like, that is when my brainstorming time is right. And that was not the case with my previous job. I didn't have that flexibility or that opportunity to create my own schedule that would work best for me and cut down my work time significantly, right? Because it would take me so much longer to problem solve or brainstorm in the afternoons compared to the mornings. So this remote life and this flexibility with my own schedule has created a whole lot more efficiency just for me, just to do with time management and completing tasks.
Jenna, of course, I thought about the commute and sort of, that sitting at a desk and just being forced to work, even if there was no work to do. But I never really thought about that lunch piece. Like you go at 12.
Yeah.
And like, that panic when you're sitting at your desk too, you're like, I got to get this done before lunch. What?
Right.
Like that is so bizarre sometimes. Even to think about, you're like, why can't, and then what, you miss your lunch and then you're just like, then you're like shoving food. Yeah. Or like nobody's around. And yeah, it's so weird. Right. That's such a good point that I never really thought about. Just, you kind of think about those other pieces, the commute, the 2 hours, right. What if something happens at home, you're gonna be home with the kids, take a day off, all that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of weird sometimes to think like how flexible, if that's a word, it can be working in a corporate environment. So that remote life definitely does not do that. Total opposite here, which of course I love too. I thought I was this sort of social butterfly. I thought I had all my office friends, and I was, into the water cooler talk, and we'd go for coffee at lunch and all these great things. I think I still fill that bucket here at Dot & Company. I'm talking to people every single day, multiple times a day, multiple different people. That social part is definitely something that like I said, my bucket's full. I'm in control of even, which is really cool. And then some days when I don't want to talk to anybody, that calendar is blocked off and I'm getting my work done and having a really strong and midday. So that balance is really cool too. So there's lots of perks from being a Dot & Company client account manager. I think the wins here are that, we have a team of unicorns that are here for the reasons of enjoying their work, being really good at it, challenging themselves every day, presented with new opportunities, new situations, and really growing as a team, which is pretty unique and really beneficial, I would say, to client account managers, but just as much to agencies as well. So anything final you guys want to say about this role, or why you chose to work with Dot & Company?
I would say that just the culture that we have here is so fun, right? And so welcoming. It's really, truly, we say the Dot fam and the Cam fam, but it really is a family. Like, I know I could call up any one of these wonderful humans and they would be like, yeah, I'm right there for you. Like, let's jump on a call. Let's talk this through. And it's great to have that kind of support just outside of the agency as well. Like, of course, you have that inside of your agency. You're a team, you're a family there as well. But also with the Dot family, you have a second support system to be able to problem solve.
Totally. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm all the time asking to, like, Jenna just moved provinces. So she just came to my province. It's like, when I see you, am I going to hug you? Like, are we going to hug? What are we going to do? Like, I feel like I know you so much. So definitely family vibes for sure. And I think that's a good point. You kind of have the immediate family, the extended family in the agencies as well. So many different groups of people that you're interacting with, which again, is just another benefit. Sheena, anything else you can add to this podcast before we close it out?
No, I think I would just echo a lot of what Jenna had said. Really, it's a wonderful work environment, which definitely endorses or kind of encourages you to take ownership of your life and your career, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's huge too. And I think you both kind of had that sense of like empowerment too, which is always a goal. I want all of Cam's and myself, we want everybody to feel super in control of their schedule and kind of what they're doing. And I think that's a massive benefit as well. So lots going on here at Dot & Company. I think it's obvious that we have a really strong Cam fam here. And, we're always growing and always servicing a really awesome agency. So the Cam fam plus the agency fam we're kind of taking over, which is really cool. So if you want to learn more about Dot and Company, more about these lovely cans that I'm talking about or talking to today, or anything about client account management or our training, head over to dotandcompany.co. It's linked below. And Jenna, Sheena, have the best day. I won't see you in person for a very long time, but I'll see you on Zoom for sure.
Thank you.
Jenna, Sheena, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate sort of your insight, your insider look at what it's like here at Dot and Company and why you wanted to join our team. Of course, we think it's pretty awesome, and our clients do too. So if you do have any questions, like I said, it's linked below. Feel free to check us out, and cheers to happy clients.
Cheers to happy clients.